What's up guys, and welcome back to the Superhero Buzz, where we talk all things Marvel. I am your host Noah, and it's so good to be back. We are going to break down a major Sony event happening next week that may give us some new details on upcoming Spider-Man related projects, including the next chapter of Tom Holland Spider-Man, including a potential cameo in Sony's Kraven the Hunter film. So fasten your seatbelts and stick around to find out the details. Anyways, there's quite a bit to unpack, so need I say more? Let's dive right in. It's a very special week for us Spider-Man fans, because this week we'll be getting the long-awaited sequel to Marvel Spider-Man, which I personally cannot wait to play, since it was announced way back in September 2021. But given the hype surrounding Marvel Spider-Man 2, there's been a lot of uncertainty regarding the film industry ever since the writer strikes began this summer, which pretty much put a halt to the entire film industry, and comic book films are certainly no exception, with many of those projects having to shift release dates. But on the brighter side of things, it appears that negotiations have begun between the writers and the big movie studios, which will hopefully put it into these historic WGA writer strikes, where they can then resume work on the various projects that were halted in production. And with the writer strikes hopefully coming to an end, when will they begin work on Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 4 that will kick off the next chapter of Tom Holland Spider-Man? Well, according to Tom Holland himself, he did previously meet with Marvel Studios and Sony to discuss Spider-Man 4, but those talks were halted once the writer strikes began, in order for Tom Holland to stand in solidarity with the writers. And according to another report from a fairly credible insider, a rough draft of Spider-Man 4 was actually submitted to Marvel and Sony before the writer strikes took place. But given that these strikes appear to be coming to an end, when will we get the first official details for Marvel Studios Spider-Man 4? Well, they could be coming a little bit sooner than we expected, because on October 23rd, Sony Pictures and other big studios will have presentations at the Show East event in Miami, Florida, where studios will share exclusive screenings for their upcoming projects, and host sponsored events and special presentations for the audience attending. And given that Sony will be attending this event, this could be where we get the very first details regarding Tom Holland's future as Spider-Man, though I wouldn't expect too many details regarding Spider-Man 4. Perhaps they'll talk about the new Spider-Man deal Tom Holland signed, where he's set to appear in 6 upcoming Marvel projects, with 3 of those being his new Spider-Man trilogy, and 2 of those being the Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, which leaves us with one entitled Mystery Project. Also tying into my next point, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony showcased new footage from their upcoming Madam Web film, including new footage from their postponed Kraven the Hunter film, which is set to undergo reshoots once the writer strikes are over, potentially opening the door to a Tom Holland Spider-Man cameo, because like Tom Holland said, he won't begin working on anything film related until the writer strikes are finished, so they could be holding off on Kraven the Hunter reshoots in order to film a Tom Holland Spider-Man cameo, which would technically make Kraven his 6th appearance in the new Spider-Man deal. Now I know what you're probably thinking, Sony's Spider-Man universe isn't canon to the MCU. Well, according to a new reveal from the Reign of Marvel Studios book, it turns out that Sony's so-called Spider-Man universe, better known as the SMUC Sony Universe of Marvel characters, will eventually become MCU canon, which definitely opens the door to potential crossovers moving forward. And according to that same source, the Spider-Man No Way Home writers originally wanted Kraven to be the main villain of the film, but Sony said his character wouldn't make sense until he was established in his own solo film. Perhaps that could be the real reason Sony delayed their upcoming Kraven the Hunter film, in order to film a Spider-Man cameo during the reshoots, but I guess only time will tell. Having said that, what are your thoughts on this? Are you excited for Spider-Man 4 and his future MCU appearances? And would you like to see him make a cameo in Sony's upcoming Kraven the Hunter film? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.